YouTube, this is Kristen Moonrise. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to talk about self-love. Since this is the weekend before Valentine's Day, I wanted to talk about self-love. And it doesn't matter if you're single or married, self-love is something that we all need to have as we journey through life. But before I get to that, I wanted to just do a quick little show and tell of these card holders that I got from Amazon. I will link them in this in the description box, and I really like them. It's 6 of them. I've got 3 large ones. Basically, you just set your card in there on a flat surface and it props it up on its own. Let's see, I have this new stand here that I'm using right now from my phone, and I got it for when I'm wanting to do tarot and oracle readings. So I'm still kind of playing around with the angle, so I'm not going to always have it at this angle. This is just pretty much just for this day. I'm still trying to play around with it and figure things out, so bear with me if things are a little weird. You can see my pajama pants. I can see, and I can't see everything, so I'm hoping that it's clear. But it looks like it can fit 2, like the big size can fit 2 oracle cards, and it can fit 3 tarot cards. So here's the second large size with the phases of the moon. The first one had moth with 2 crescent moons, and then this third one over here. And here's the small card, which can hold 1 of each. Another moth card. And here's a moon one. I'm sorry, sun. This is a sun. And here's the third smaller one here. So I really like them, and yeah, they're pretty cool. So yeah, so last week's full moon in Leo was so powerful for me. Like, I woke up that morning just completely ready to just release all tension that I didn't realize I was still having. So it was a great release moment for all Leo placements. So I was checking to see just how far the micro moon would be. And to me, I was expecting it to be a little bit farther away from the earth. The fact that we kept calling it micro moon. But I definitely have seen it be closer, and it definitely seems to be getting closer now in its orbit. So I guess, yes, that is considered a micro moon. But I guess I was just expecting the moon to be like a dot in the sky, like a little tiny dot. But I was like, it still looks kind of close to me. But of course, we can't have the moon to be too far away. And so I wanted to just also remind everybody of the tarot cards that I pulled for the month of February that kind of states the theme. It was so funny. I was like, oh, I don't think I'm ready to do 2 cards. I think I'm just ready to do, still just only able to do 1 card. But 2 cards ended up falling out. So I'm like, okay, that's a sign that I'm ready to do 2 cards. So we have the Empress and the Eight of Pentacles. So I took that to mean, you know, you've already got your internal skills, your internal gifts and everything. You just need to work on them. And what those internal gifts are that just come natural to you is your inner Empress, your inner femininity, your fertility, your, you know, just resting in your queen and energy. I think that so many of us, so many of us women, we carry so much weight on us, and we kind of put our femininity aside. So it's something that we need to work at, but not work too hard at, because it's already within us. So now I will talk about self-love. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. It is on and popping over here with the pink and the reds. I forgot I had this from last year. So I was like, oh, perfect. I'm glad I remembered I had it, as I was about to look for another headband. But yeah, so if you see me looking down, I have my laptop here. So I'm just looking at my notes. So self-love. So some of us were lucky enough to be born in environments and families that promoted self-love and were good examples of self-love. But for me, I didn't really start to want self-love without really knowing what the term was until I was ready to move out from home. And I didn't really grasp the I didn't really grasp the depth of self-love until the recent years. And so just if you're new to my channel, this channel is about me documenting my spiritual journey that I embarked upon unknowingly about 2.5 years ago. I was dating and I was repelling the guys that I did like, and I was attracting the guys that I didn't like. So I had to really look at myself a certain way, and I'm like, yo, this is not what I want. Why am I doing the opposite? So I had to really do a lot of self-reflection, which is what I've been doing over the past couple of years, a lot of purging. And that spiritual journey wasn't just about romantic love or self-love, which is what I'm talking about today, but it had me look at my relationship with everything in the world, like my relationship with my family, with money, with friends, with my own health, and my spirituality. Everything was just pretty much, affected by me looking by that spiritual journey that had occurred. So, but yeah, in a nutshell, self-love looks like you're being fearless in who you are and what you choose for yourself. You don't settle. You know who you are and you love yourself for who you are. You give yourself room to grow and change, and you are ever expanding. So not having self-love looks like you're picking at a lot of other people about what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing, when that person may actually love themselves and may actually be secure in themselves more than you are. So that means that having self-love means you don't try to fix other people because you assume that they're okay with where they are. So not having self-love means that you're really out of balance with yourself. You're accepting things that you know internally are not really what you want. You're in a relationship because you don't want to be alone, or you're at a job that you really can't stand, but you're afraid to move forward. You don't want to take that chance. It's just easier to be in a situation that you're in, although you don't like it. So my spiritual journey was definitely a wake-up call on everything. I thought, oh, if I just fix this with dating, everything would be okay. Nope, it's time for you to look at everything that's going on in your life. So one thing that I started to do was do a lot of research, and I will from time to time reference this book, this Daily Rituals book. I will link it also in the description box. It says Positive Affirmations to Attract Love, Happiness, and Peace. So I don't really know how I came across this book. I don't know if I watched a YouTube video and it recommended it, or if I was just on Amazon and I spotted it. But it has been a lifesaver. So my spiritual journey started in the fall of 2020, and this is one of those books from Amazon where they print it as you order it. So it has a date of November 10th, 2020. So this book really helped me look at myself a different way, and it helped me set up my altar. Here's even a little part here that helps you set up your altar, and I followed it. Different things that you say over yourself to the moon, and it's just a great book to just really, for the feminine, to really get back in tune with her inner goddess, her inner priestess, her inner queen. So I have gifted this book a few times. I've gifted this book to a few friends before, and of course it's up to them how they decided to take this book, if they never wanted to look at it again, or if they loved it every minute of the day. But I loved it so much for me that I really cared enough for them to also wanted to share this. But there was one friend that I had that and I'll show you the first prompt here, that the daily rituals, and that really triggered her. So the very first one in here, bam, I love myself. And she told me that she felt disgusted when she was trying to do the exercises. And I'm like, yeah, I understand, because you're not used to doing that. So what this was, I don't want to spoil too much of it, but part of the exercise is to look at yourself in the mirror, like literally go to a mirror, look at yourself in the eye, and declare your love for yourself. And that made her really uncomfortable. And I would say that because it made her uncomfortable, that this book was exactly what she needed. And it made me uncomfortable too. But I'm hoping that she did end up picking it up later, or at least not tossing it away completely. So yeah, self-love is uncomfortable sometimes because we don't necessarily live our lives loving ourselves. And you need to get out of your comfort zone in order to love yourself. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but that is absolutely the case when you are in environments where you feel like you have to put others first. Maybe I'll even talk about this in another video, but a lot of times religion tells you that you should put other people before you and you should come last. Like there's God, there's others, and then there's you, you're last. And that does not set up a good formula for self-love at all. Where does self-love come from when you're last on the list? So yeah, so when you do this inner work, when it comes to self-love, and honestly, you know, I didn't realize that I didn't have it until I started to realize that things weren't showing up the way I wanted to in my life. So I knew that it was not other people, it was me. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm not in alignment with myself. What's going on? So because you've been living your life like that for so long and people expect you to behave a certain way because that's how they're used to you being, that's how they associate you, beware of the negative feedback you may get from other people as you start rejecting things you don't want, saying no when you truly mean no, saying yes when you truly mean yes, because they're not going to necessarily, I mean, not everyone, people are perhaps going to pull you out of yourself, but there's also going to be people that get a little offended by the new you. And I've recently, like as of like the past like week, I've had people ask me, are you okay? I'm concerned. And before I've had another person say, you're so vain, you're vain. But I guess everything was okay when nothing was really working out for me, and when I was fake happy and I was rejecting myself and accepting stuff I didn't want, and accepting the worst from everyone. So that was okay. But me putting myself first and me wanting the best and the most for myself has you concerned, and I'm vain now. So that's not gonna, you know, hopefully, and for the most part, it's going to be a minority, you know, group of people that you're around. But for the most part, people will be happy for you that you're finding your own path. So, and this is your journey. So you owe nothing to anyone when it comes to your own happiness. So just keep pushing. And I will close this video with 5 self-love affirmations. They and all links to things that I referenced in this video will be in the description box. And I will catch you in the next one, and have a great Valentine's Day. And I think maybe the Super Bowl is supposed to happen this weekend. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. But have a great Valentine's Day. And I love you, and take care. Bye.